Namaste. Welcome everybody to Hatha Yoga. My name is Michelle Chua. And to begin this practice, you may want to have set up 2 yoga blocks and a strap, and either start in child's pose or a comfortable seated position, Sukhasana. I'd like to read an excerpt from Hatha Yoga Pradipika, one of the long time texts that helps to guide us through Hatha Yoga practice. And this one is from chapter 1. And it says, prior to everything, asana is spoken of as the first part of Hatha Yoga. Having done asana, which is the physical poses, one gets steadiness, firmness of body and mind, diseaselessness, and lightness or flexibility of the limbs. Asana is the first part of Hatha Yoga. In Raja Yoga, asana refers to the sitting position. But in Hatha Yoga, it means something else. Asana is a specific position which opens the energy channels. We often call them chakras, or that's the Sanskrit word for it, and psychic centers. Hatha Yoga is a process through which purification and control of the body take place by restructuring the pranic flows. Prana is life force energy, that which is flowing through the chakras. The Hatha yogis also found that by developing control of the body through asana, the mind is controlled. Therefore, asana practice is foremost in Hatha Yoga. When you practice asana, steadiness develops. Prana, life force energy, moves freely, and there is less chance of disease occurring. Just as stagnant water is the breeding ground for all sorts of creatures, when prana stagnates anywhere in the body, conditions are perfect for bacteria to flourish. Prana should move like swift flowing water. When prana flows freely, the body also becomes supple. Stiffness of the body is due to blockages and an accumulation of toxins. When prana begins to flow, the toxins are removed from the system, and you will be able to bend and stretch in a relaxed manner without having to do vigorous warm-up exercises. Think about our 108 sun salutations coming up on New Year's Day. When the store of prana is increased to a greater degree, the body will move by itself. You may find yourself spontaneously performing asanas and various bodily postures, mudras, or even pranayama, breathing techniques. You may find yourself performing postures you could never have done before. This is due to a relaxed state and to a greater vibrational rate of the prana. So let's explore the practice of asanas. Please find your comfortable seat. And if you have already been sitting, maybe cross-legged, you may want to switch the cross of your legs and just begin to create a sense of balance between the left and right hemispheres of the body and brain. And as you root down to your left and right sitting bones, bring your hands to the bottom of your rib cage like you're holding a big cylinder at the very bottom, and lift your rib cage while pressing your pelvis downward into the surface below. Feel those two opposite moving forces, as Hatha is much about playing with opposites to create space and balance. So keep doing that. And then allow the shoulders to also lift up, and just notice how that feels as the shoulders shrug towards the ears. Notice the way you're breathing here. Now keep lifting your rib cage and pressing the pelvis down, and then let the shoulders roll slightly behind the ears, and then move them down the back as you continue to lift up through each vertebra, through your crown. And then glide your chin softly towards the back of your throat. Now continue those opposite forces of lifting the rib cage and crown while pressing the pelvis and shoulders down, and then let your hands rest in your lap. Notice the space. Feel into the space within your torso. Has it shifted in any way from how you were sitting before? And does that shift, if any, affect the way your body is breathing now, or able to breathe now? Maybe close your eyes and sense these various layers of physical body, energy body, mental, emotional body. As you begin to set your intention for your practice, what would you like to focus your energy on by paying attention to throughout this hour? Let's start to deepen the breath, inhaling as you press the pelvis and shoulders down. Exhaling, maybe through the mouth as you lift up through each vertebra from the bottom to the crown. Take a few more cleansing exhales where you can let any sound move through. Remember that energy moves through sound as well. Beginning to release stagnancy in the breath as you take greater exhalations. In fact, let's take a couple of lion's breaths. So as you place your hands on your knees or your lap, take a deep inhale, fill up, let the rib cage expand. And as you exhale, open the mouth wide, stick out the tongue, open the eyes, and let any sound out. One more time, inhale deeply. Lion's breath. And now let's join the palms to meet at the heart as you sit tall, lifting your heart center. Clarify your intention or your heart-centered intention, your sankalpa for this practice. And then perhaps choose someone or something that you are devoted to or care about that you might also offer your practice to today. And together, let's send the energy of our intentions out into the world and into our own systems by chanting 3 ohms in community. Empty this breath. Take a deep inhale. Bow in towards your heart center. And let's begin the practice of Ujjayi Pranayama, or victorious breathing technique. Breathing in through the nose, just as slowly as you breathe out through the nose, while gently narrowing the back of your throat to listen to a very subtle whispering sound. Calm, even flow breathing. And let's begin to move on to hands and knees, all fours. So setting up your blocks, if you're using them, to frame the front of your mat, and then have your knees set on the ground a couple inches behind your hips. Have your wrists directly under your shoulders. Spread your fingers wide and root down through the finger pads, fingertips, index fingers pointing forward. And as you inhale, glide your chest forward and up into cow pose, looking up as you drop your shoulders back. As you exhale, press down with your hands and contract the belly, rounding your back, dropping your head. Cat pose, inhale, chest forward again, peel the shoulder blades down and lift your heart and gaze. Exhale, lift the navel, drop the head, tuck the tailbone under. Take about 3 more cycles of Betalasana, cat-cow pose, on your own pace of breath. And let's pause a moment in child's pose. Bring the inner edges of your feet to touch. Knees can be together or separated as wide as it's comfortable for you. Just sink your hips down, lower your forehead on the ground, arms wherever you like, for 3 more breaths. You might count this as a resting pose, and any time that you personally need to rest, feel free to take it. Remember that this is your practice, taking responsibility for listening to your body and responding mindfully. Now let's go ahead and extend the arms straight forward, separate the hands shoulders distance apart, spread through the thumbs and index fingers, wrap the outer upper arms towards the floor so that you can feel your shoulder blades spreading wider apart across your back ribs, and then let the shoulders move down the back as you lengthen your crown forward. Where you are in child's pose, separate your feet hips distance apart. Tuck your toes behind you. Keep your hands and feet right where they are, and lift your hips high and back, entering downward facing dog. So where your hands and feet were in child's pose, and as they remain there in downward dog, is proportionate to your own body. So take a moment here if you need to pedal out your feet, warm up the backs of your legs, maybe softly shake and nod your head, loosen up your neck, any kind of movement as you tune into the sound of your breath. That gentle whisper at the back of your throat, practicing Ujjayi. Today we'll break down the various types of sun salutations, or Surya Namaskar in Sanskrit. And they were meant to help energize the body, get prana moving, let go of stagnancy in mind and body, and bring us into a state of meditative movement as we focus on synchronizing our bodies to our breath. So focus on that sound of your breath, keeping it balanced and slow. As you inhale, bend your knees and lift your heels and hips, looking past your hands. Exhale completely, then either walk or lightly hop to the front of your mat, coming into a forward fold. With your feet still hips width apart and parallel, bend your knees as much as you need to tilt your weight as far forward as you can balance, so that your hips stack right above your ankles, not behind them. And let your head just hang loose for a moment. You might take hold of opposite elbows and start to sway the spine side to side. Might shake out the head or shimmy out the shoulders for a few breaths. Taking a moment here to open up the back of your body, all of the back of your body. Stay aware if the breath sound disappears. Notice what you might need to do with your own body to regain that steady whisper. Really important. It's our object of meditation. Then release your hands either onto your legs or onto the ground ahead of your feet, and really press with your fingertips to draw your chest through your upper arms and lengthen into a flat back, belly engaged. Let's take a few breaths here in half forward fold, or Ardha Uttanasana in Sanskrit. So as you keep reaching the top of your head forward, look towards the tip of your nose, broaden your chest, and press the shoulders back while leaning your weight forward. Feel the front of your thighs engage. Take another breath here. Keep this feeling of a flat back, and exhale, fold, maybe even deeper. As you press down with your feet, inhale, spread your arms apart, rising up to the full length of your inhale. So at the top of the breath, you watch your palms meet towards overhead. Now pause here. This is a pose called Urdhva Hastasana. Hands overhead in mountain pose. If your shoulders are shrugging, you may want to bring your hands more forward of your face rather than straight up. So let the shoulders relaxed. Soften the front ribs in. Root down through the 4 corners of each foot and firm the front muscles of your thighs slightly from the belly. Feel your tailbone reaching towards the floor, right between the heels. Take another breath in. Now as you exhale, trace your thumbs from the crown center, third eye center, throat energy center, heart energy center, solar plexus, sacral, and root. As though blessing your energy centers, encouraging prana flow. Let's start with half sun salutations, or Ardha Surya Namaskar, standing tall in Tadasana. Feel your palms facing forward, helping to open your chest as you look straight ahead. Listen to your breath. Inhale, circle your arms overhead. Watch your palms touch. Exhale, bow from your hips with a feeling of a flat back. Know that you can bend your knees if needed. Press your legs to the ground. As you inhale, stretch your spine forward, rising halfway. Exhale, fold maybe a little deeper. Energize your legs as you press with your feet. Inhale, circle your arms and rise again, all the way overhead. Palms touch. Exhale, trace your thumbs down your 7 chakras. 2 more times. Inhale, sweep the arms up in Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bow down in Uttanasana. Press with the hands. Inhale, rise forward halfway in Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale again, bow Uttanasana. Press to your feet. Inhale, circle your arms and rise all the way up. Hands meet at the top. Again in Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, tracing the thumbs to your centers. Tadasana, mountain pose. 1 more time to your breath. Breathe in, look up. Breathe out, forward fold. Breathe in, rise forward halfway up. Breathe out, fold again. Breathe in, rise all the way up, palms meet. Breathe out through your energy centers. Now moving on to Surya Namaskar C, Sun Salutation C. Let's break it down. Start standing tall, hands together at the heart. This is called Padasana, hands together at the heart in mountain pose. You may want to bring the feet together to touch. If folding forward will be okay on your hamstrings. As you inhale, sweep the arms forward. And as you lift the palms to touch, roll the shoulders back. They don't have to touch, but lift the heart up, look up. And as you exhale, sweep the arms forward and bow all the way down. So you can place your hands on blocks or on the floor outside your feet. On your next inhale, step your left knee to the ground behind you with your legs hips width apart in a kneeling lunge. Keep your hands down and look up, sinking your hips. Take a breath in. We'll hold the breath in as you step into plank pose. Either knees on the floor or legs straight, shoulders right over wrists. Look forward on the ground. Exhale, lower your knees, lower your chest, bend the elbows to hug your side ribs so you're sticking up your tailbone and looking forward towards the front of your mat. Chin is to the floor. This is a back bend. Let the shoulders move away from the ears. Pause here. And on your next breath in, slide your chest, belly, and legs to the floor into Cobra Pose, Bhujangasana. Peel the shoulders back and down, open the chest, and feel every toenail rooting into the floor, creating stability for your lower back. Elbows are hugging your side ribs. We're here for 2 more breaths. Notice how much your back muscles are engaged to open the chest here, not so much of the hands pushing the floor. On your exhale, press up to plank or hands and knees. Tuck your toes and lift your hips back. Downward facing dog or Adho Mukha Svanasana. In this pose, feel your fingers spread. Wrap your triceps towards the floor. Notice the full length of your spine as you drop your head and steady your eyes on one spot. Take a breath here and step the left foot forward beside your left thumb. If it doesn't make it all the way there, grab your ankle with your left hand and bring the foot forward. Lower your right knee to the floor, looking up in a kneeling lunge. Remember, you can place your hands on blocks here if that helps. Let's take another breath in, then exhale, step your right foot forward and bow back to Uttanasana. Inhale, sweep the arms forward. Rise into a gentle standing back bend. So roll the shoulders behind, look up, maybe the palms touch. And as a blessing, your 7 energy centers, trace your palms in prayer from your crown to your roots, Muladhara. Now we're gonna move into side two, a more continuous flow. So focus on sustaining a balanced breath. From the top, hands together at the heart, Padasana. Take a deep inhale and sweep the arms forward. Drop the shoulders back, look up. Exhale, bow, place the hands on blocks or the floor. Inhale, step the right knee back, look up, kneeling lunge. Hold the breath and step to plank. Exhale, lower your knees, chest and chin, hug the elbows close, tailbone is high. Glide forward as you breathe in, roll the shoulders back to cobra. Exhale, lift the pelvis back to downward dog. Inhale, step the right foot beside your right thumb, lower the back knee, look up. Exhale, step the left foot forward and bow. Inhale, sweep your arms forward, rise all the way into your gentle standing back bend, gaze up. Exhale, palms in prayer, tracing the 7 chakras. Let's try Surya Namaskar. See one more on each side. Listen to your breath and let it become a meditation through movement by that one pointed focus. Empty this breath. Hands together. Inhale, sweep the arms forward and up, standing back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step left knee back, look up, kneeling lunge. Hold the breath, step to plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest and chin. Inhale, glide forward into cobra pose. Exhale, lift the hips, downward dog. Inhale, step left foot forward, right knee down, kneeling lunge, look up. Exhale, step right foot forward and bow. Inhale, sweep the arms forward, gentle standing back bend. Exhale, palms in prayer through the 7 chakras. Last one, side two. Inhale the arms forward, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, step right knee back, look up, kneeling lunge. Hold your breath in and step to plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest and chin. Inhale, glide through into cobra pose. Exhale, lift your hips, downward dog. Inhale, step right foot beside right thumb, lower left knee, look up. Exhale, step left foot forward and bow. Inhale, sweep your arms forward, gentle standing back bend. Exhale, trace your palms in prayer through the 7 chakras. Arms by your sides. Let's take a breath. Notice what you feel here. Keeping the energy flowing, the breath flowing. Let's move into Surya Namaskar A, Sun Salutation A. We'll break it down on the first one. The palms facing forward in Tadasana, mountain pose. Press to your feet. Inhale, circle your arms out to the sides. Look up, watch your palms meet. Exhale, bow from your hips. Remember, you could bend your knees. This time, press the ground of your legs. And inhale, stretch the spine forward to halfway rise. Let's step into plank on this one. Knees on the floor or legs straight. Continue the exhale, gliding forward, grazing your elbows by your ribs. Either lower all the way for cobra again or halfway to chaturanga and flip your toes there, coiling the chest into upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. As you exhale, lift your pelvis back into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. And let's take 3 slow breaths. Steady your gaze, help to steady your focus. Third exhalation, bend your knees, look forward. After it, walk or float to the top. Into your forward fold. Press with your hands. Inhale, lift the chest forward to lengthen halfway up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, circle the arms, rise all the way up. Hands meet in prayer at the top. Exhale, bring the palms in prayer through your center line. Back to mountain pose. Let's take 2 more rounds of this in a continuous flow. Sun Salutation A. Inhale, circle your arms, gaze up. Exhale, bow forward. Press your legs to the ground. Inhale, lengthen forward, gaze towards the tip of your nose. Now you can walk to plank. If you're jumping, hold the breath in, float into chaturanga, so you land with elbows bent at 90 degrees. Then choose to lower for cobra or flip your toes here for upward dog. Inhaling. Exhale to downward facing dog. Pause there for 3 breaths. Steady your gaze, your drishti. Listening to the 3rd exhale finish, walk or float when it's done. Top of the mat. Inhale, rise forward into Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bow again into Uttanasana. Inhale, rise, palms meet in prayer up high, and Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale through Padasana, arms by your sides, Tadasana. One more round. Inhale, sweep the arms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise forward, step, step, or hold the breath in and float. Chaturanga, Dandasana. Bhujangasana, Cobra, or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pause for 3 deep breaths. Third exhalation, empty it, then walk or float to the top. Inhale, rise forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale your hands down your midline. Standing in mountain pose, let's take a breath. Notice what you feel in your body here, what you feel energetically here. Any different from when you started this practice? Keep tuning into your breath, and please find your blocks as we turn to face the wide width of your mat, standing at the center. Open your arms wide apart and step or jump your feet about as wide apart as your hands. Then place your blocks on their tallest height behind your calves. I'm going to mirror you here. So turn your left leg outward. Actually, excuse me, let's start with the right leg. Turn your right leg outward, 90 degrees from the hip. So the foot turns out to left leg, turn it in 45 degrees. 45 degrees inward, and line up your right heel to intersect the arch of your left foot. We're gonna start in Warrior Two, so bring your hands to your pelvis and just feel the bowl shape of your pelvis. And see if you can lift the frontal hip bone slightly towards the bottom front ribs and let the tailbone descend. Level out the left and right hips as you bend the right knee to stack just over the right heel, and then straighten the leg. Let's try 2 more. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Now let's keep the knee bent. Adjust your stance as you need so that right knee is bending maybe towards 90-degree angle if you're looking for intensity, or less if you need less intensity. Press the outside edge of your left foot into the ground. Your weight is evenly distributed through both feet. Feel your right outer hip rotate slightly beneath your body, so the front knee is tracking towards the pinky toe. Firm the top of your left thigh bone back to help realign your pelvic bowl as neutrally upright as possible. Now feel your spine, feel the rib cage lift like we did at the start. Feel the shoulders relax as you open the arms. See your hands. Basically, your wrists are stacked above your ankles. Feel the even level of your 2 hands. And then energetically reach through the fingertips like you're trying to touch opposite walls of your room with the fingers together, keeping the energy focused. Then turn your eyes to look past your right fingertips onto one spot. Let's take 5 more deep breaths here in Warrior Two or Virabhadrasana 2. Can you sense your own balancing of these 2 energies, effort and ease? the main part of Hatha yoga practice, effort and ease in balance. Finish this full cycle of breath. And as you press down through both feet, straighten your front leg, and let's prepare for Trikonasana, triangle pose. Now, you may want a slightly shorter stance to help you in balancing. Keep the alignment of heel to arch. And with legs straight, feel the front muscles of your thighs activate. Glide your pelvis sideways towards the back of your mat or towards the left leg, and reach your right hand past the right knee before placing that hand down onto your right leg or just to the right side of the leg. You might be using the block or not. Find the height to place the right hand where you're not all of a sudden compressing the right side of your lower back or your torso. You're actually be able to lengthen it by pressing the crease of your right hip towards your outer left foot while stretching the crown of your head past the right foot. And then as you raise the left arm up, feel your full wingspan here. Reach to the fingertips and turn your chest slightly to face the sky. Now, if it feels okay on your neck, steady your eyes on one spot, just past your left fingertips. And let's continue 5 more cycles of breath here in Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. Balancing effort and ease. Now root down through your feet. Inhale, rise all the way up, and let's parallel the feet in this wide stance. Bring your hands behind your back to clasp, or grab a strap to hold between them. Roll your shoulders back, breathe in, and lift your chest. Look up. Exhale, hinging from your hips, allow your weight to shift forward towards the front of your heels as you bow. In Prasarita Padottanasana, wide-legged forward fold for 5 breaths. Now, know that you can bend your knees if you feel the back starting to round. We want to get really long in the spine and relaxed in the neck. So as you're stretching the arms forward to open the front of your shoulders, also lift your shoulders to free more length in your neck. 2 more breaths. You press to your feet, bend your knees, and lead with your chest. Inhale, slowly rise to stand. Release your hands, and let's prepare for side 2. So turn your right leg inward 45 degrees. Turn your left leg outward 90 degrees. So now your left foot is your front leg. Align your left heel to intersect the arch of your right foot. Bring your hands to your pelvis and try to align your 2 hips as even as possible. Lift the frontal hip bones, draw the tailbone down, and bend your left knee to stack just above your left heel. Breathe in. Exhale, straighten the leg. 2 more. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Now let's keep the knee bent, and you decide how intense of a pose it needs to be physically. If you're really going for rigor, bend the knee towards 90 degrees, but make sure to press the outside edge of your right foot into the earth, so not all your weight is shifting towards the front foot. As you wrap the left outer hip under your body, allow your left knee to point out towards the pinky toe. In balancing that, firm the top of your right thigh bone back. Find that neutral pelvis again. Feel the spaciousness in your torso as you relax the shoulders and open your arms. See the height of your 2 hands. Even as you bring the fingers together and reach energetically out through your fingertips. Gaze just past your left hand, and let's take 5 more deep breaths. In Virabhadrasana, 2. press down to your feet and straighten your left leg. To prepare for triangle pose, you may want a slightly shorter stance. Glide your hips sideways towards your rear leg, the right leg, and reach your left hand beyond your left knee to lengthen the left side of your torso as much as possible before you lower that left hand. Placing it on your leg or just to the left of your leg, maybe using a block. Tack the crease of your left hip back towards your right outer foot. And in contrast, to create balance, reach the top of your head past your left foot. Yeah. And raise your right arm up. Rotate your chest slightly to face up. Maybe you're looking past the right thumb. Send the shoulders down your back. Breathe here. 5 more cycles in Trikonasana. Press to your feet. Inhale, slowly rise up. And then this time, let's bring the hands to the hips, parallel your feet in the wide stance again. We're gonna come into a half forward fold. So if you'd like to place your hands on blocks, you can place the blocks in front of you. Roll the shoulders back, breathe in, look up. Exhale, hinge from your hips and place your fingertips on blocks or the floor. Find the feeling of a flat back as you stretch the crown of your head forward. Shoulders moving back. Firm in the belly and place your right hand on the ground or on the block. Raise your left arm and without turning your pelvis, begin to turn your chest to the left side in a spinal twist. 5 breaths here. Each inhale, root through your feet and reach the top of your head forward. Each exhale, hug your outer hips towards your midline and continue to rotate your rib cage further into the twist. On your exhalation, replace the right hand with the left. Inhale, lengthen, spine forward, shoulders back. Raise the right arm, exhale, twist to your right side. Keeping your outer hips hugging your midline, try to balance your 2 hips as you stretch the spine forward and spiral the chest deeper into the twist for 4 more breaths. Exhale the right hand down, bend both knees, bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, slowly rise all the way up to stand. And let's step the feet or jump the feet together into mountain pose, preparing for a balancing standing posture, Vrikshasana. Join your hands together at your heart. I'm going to continue mirroring you. Shift your weight onto your left foot and really spread your weight through the 4 corners of that foot, the pinky toe, the big toe, the inner heel, the outer heel. Activate the muscles in your left leg, like you're really rooting into the ground. Turn out your right thigh at the hip, like you did in Warrior 2, and hug the inside of your left ankle. You can keep the toes on the floor. Balance the height of your 2 hips, engage the lower belly, stand a little taller with each breath. Now, if your balance feels pretty stable and your hip is open to it, you might press the inside of your calf, or catch the ankle and press the inside of your thigh. Find the height that meets you where you are and allows you to balance effort with ease, including in the way that you're breathing. You could also vary the arms by lifting them up, keeping the hands together or apart. You could even play with closing your eyes if you're looking for more challenge. And let's take 5 breaths here. Tree pose, Vrikshasana. And then when you're ready, bring your hands together at your heart and step your right foot next to your left in Padasana. Hands in prayer in mountain pose. Take a deep breath and sense your energy here right now. Let's shift the weight onto your right foot and spread the weight through the four corners of it. Activate the right leg. Turn out the left thigh and begin by placing the sole of your foot firmly against your inner right ankle. Press back with the ankle so you're sandwiching your midline. Sense what might be different on this side of your body that you may need to listen to. Maybe you bring the foot to your calf. Maybe you catch the ankle and bring it into your inner thigh. One posture variation is not better or worse than the other. It's simply, how are you being honest with yourself and practicing yoga? Union. 5 breaths. When you're ready, step it down. When I close my eyes on this side really wanted to dance. Notice what you sense. Let's take a deep breath in, open the mouth, let it go. Let's come on down to sit. We'll come into double pigeon pose or cross-legged position. Start with your left leg forward and cross your right leg over or in front of the left leg so that you're sitting cross-legged, or if your hips are feeling open to it, you're crossing your two shins so they're parallel to each other like fire logs stacked, and your ankles and knees are stacked. If you're doing that, which is double pigeon, make sure to flex your feet. Press the big toe mounds of your feet outward towards the side walls so you can't see the soles of your feet. Not like this. I'm exaggerating. This is sickling the foot. Don't want that. I want to protect the knees here. Now, if your right thigh is lifting uncomfortably, you could place a block or pillow underneath it to rest on, or you could elevate your whole pelvis to sit on something. Round through the sitting bones, sit tall, open chest, open throat, and then begin to bow forward for 5 breaths. So in today's practice, we've been practicing postures that rotate the thighs externally, like Warrior 2, Tree Pose, and now you might consider them hip openers. But that also brings a sense of energy flow into the sacral region, which is where Svadhisthana chakra lies. Sacral energy center. And when energy is flowing through that area in balance, and remember, this is not only physiological, this is psychological. Mind, body, intertwined, not separate. When energy is flowing through the sacral energy in balance, there's a sense of ability to flow like water. Water element is related to it, not only physically, but we're also able to be mentally flexible. We shed this feeling of stuckness that can come when rainy days keep us indoors a lot. It kind of lets us feel a little looser in our bodies, looser in our minds, open to possibilities, open to adaptability. Let's take a deep breath as we slowly lift up, extend the legs forward, maybe point the toes if you've been flexing your feet for a while. And let's switch the cross of the legs. Notice what's available on this side of your hips. Might be different. Whether you cross the legs or you stack the ankles and the knees while flexing the feet, which is double pigeon pose. Use any props that you might need to support you here, and then sit tall. Begin to bow forward about 5 breaths. Other qualities of a balanced sacral energy center is sensuality, able to connect to your body and have a healthy sense of sexuality. The reproductive organs are also around that area. Also, healthy boundaries comes with that. An ability to experience pleasure without guilt, sweetness. Lots more we can go into. Let's take one more breath. Creative flow. Spontaneity, ability to practice that. Start to rise up. One more time, extend the legs, maybe point the toes or shake out the feet. Let's prepare for bridge pose. So come down onto your back, take the block with you. We'll take 2 rounds of Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. Set your feet on the floor and take the block by the skinniest width and firm it between your thighs or knees. Separate your feet as wide apart as your knees here. Make sure your feet are parallel to each other. With your arms down by your sides, walk your feet back until you could almost touch your heels with your fingertips, but not that close, just almost. Then ground the backs of your shoulders and tilt your chin slightly back to open your throat the entire pose. Press down through the 4 corners of your feet, and on your next inhale, lift your pelvis and stretch the front of your thighs forward while activating the back muscles of your thighs, your hamstrings. Take another 5 to 8 breaths here before lowering your spine. Now you can see if you're able to walk your upper arms closer together and maybe also clasp the fingers as long as your elbows remain straight, not bent. Keep stretching your tailbone forward as we are opening your front body, front of your torso, like your chest, front to the shoulders, your abdomen, your hip flexors, front to the thighs, and welcoming more expansive breaths. As we're lifting the chest and broadening that region, that's the area of your heart energy center, Anahata chakra. And when energy is balancing its flow there, you're able to experience natural friendliness, compassion, joy, ability to receive and give love, pure love, genuine love. When you're ready, slowly lower your spine. Keep the block if you're going to use it for the next round. That's up to you. And pause once you've lowered everything and take 3 breaths to notice what you feel. Now round 2, which is the last of our back bends, you could do it the same way. You could take a resting version, which is placing the block under your sacrum and resting on it, supported bridge, or you can turn it up in intensity and practice upward facing bow, which is Urdhva Dhanurasana. You may want to keep the block. So if you practice upward facing bow, have no shoulder injuries, you can go ahead and plant your hands alongside your ears and take yourself through the process. Let's stay in this last back bend for your count of 5 to 10 breaths, and we'll meet lying down. When you have lowered entirely from that last back bend, separate your feet on the ground wider than hips distance apart and drop your knees to knock in together and touch. Rest left hand at the center of your chest, right hand at your lower belly, and take 3 breaths. Again, sense what you feel here. Carry your knees towards your chest, maybe circle your thighs apart and together a few times. Breathing deeply in and out through the nose again. You might take happy baby here if you like. Grounding the tailbone and shoulders if you do. Let's prepare for a supine spinal twist. You could either join your knees, open your arms like a T, or if you're seeking to go a little deeper in sensation, wrap the right leg over the left. Scoot your hips towards the right edge of your mat. Then pick up your feet and drop your knees to the left as you keep your right shoulder grounded and look towards it. 5 breaths. Slowly come back to center. If your knees were together, keep them that way. If you wrap the legs, switch the wrap of the legs. And scoot your pelvis towards the left edge of your mat. Pick up your feet. Slowly drop your knees to the right while grounding your left shoulder and looking past it. 5 breaths. Coming back to center. Let's prepare for a cooling inversion of either supported shoulder stand, in which you place a block under your sacrum and lift your legs straight up. Knees can be slightly bent for comfort. Or Salamba Chaturvangasana, traditional shoulder stand, if you know how to practice it safely and are free from neck injuries. You could also move into plow pose if you're there. So take your choice, about 5 to 10 breaths. Halasana or plow is where you bring the legs overhead from shoulder stand. And when you're ready, slowly lower your spine, your pelvis, remove any prop that might be under your body, and let's meet in fish pose. Last pose before Shavasana. So fish, bring your palms face down under your glutes, so your thumbs meet. Extend your legs forward, bring the feet together and relax them. Press your palms, forearms, and elbows to the floor and lift your chest, tilt your chin back to your extent. Some of you might bring the crown of your head to the floor and see your back wall. Take about 5 clearing exhales through the mouth before lowering into Shavasana from here. Take your time when you're ready to place your body in a position of rest. We'll have 5 minutes in corpse pose, resting quietly with singing bowls. So if you'd like to hear the singing bowls more clearly, you may want to turn up the volume on your device or hook it up to a speaker if you have that availability, because I'm switching the settings here for audio. So tuck yourself in to that position of rest. Close your eyes. Let go of controlling your breathing. And allow yourself to really experience a sense of surrender here. Letting go of effort. Before you begin to move your body, sense those various layers of selves that you checked in with at the start of this practice. Physical body, energy body, mental, emotional body, and anything more subtle than that. What has shifted through your yoga practice? As you continue to pay attention, begin to deepen your breath. Start by moving smaller parts of your body, like wiggling your fingers, your toes, gently turning your head. So there's a mindfulness in the transition from corpse pose towards a meditation seated position. Begin to stretch your body slowly, making your way gradually up into your comfortable sitting pose, Sukhasana. For our meditation practice, we'll sit in silence for 5 minutes and I'll set the timer. So make sure that you're sitting comfortably. You can feel grounded in your body, aware, and relaxed. You may want to close your eyes or steady a soft gaze on one spot in which your spine can be upright, hands in any mudra that you choose, such as thumb and first finger touching, palms resting on the lap. 5 minutes has begun. Notice what you sense, witness what you observe. Let that be the practice, coming back again and again to being the witness, being present. Slowly expand your awareness from watching your mind to sensing the space outside your body. Gently bring your palms in prayer at your heart, lifting your heart and bowing in this gesture of wholeness, bringing it all together, union, which is what yoga means, and gratitude. Gratitude to the teachers before us who make it possible for us to learn and practice yoga today and continue to benefit from it and share its benefits. Gratitude to you, community, for making it a community by showing up together. Let's close the practice, chanting one Om. Empty this breath. Take a deep inhale. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.